From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, April the 2nd, 2020. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said all Israelis should wear masks on their faces when out in public in an effort to curb the spread of the coronavirus, which is growing in the country. Netanyahu, by the way, remains in isolation after he was exposed to the virus, though he tested negative. Several top officials in Israel also will enter quarantine after Health Minister Yaakov Litzman tested positive for COVID-19 as a precaution. Netanyahu, by the way, also announced strict limitations for people coming in and out of Bnei Brak, an ultra-Orthodox community with a particularly high number of COVID-19 cases. In some political news from Israel now, Israeli financial publication Globes and the Jerusalem Post both reported that there is progress in talks over the details of the formation of a unity government between Netanyahu and Blue and White Party leader Benny Gantz, and that the finalization of such an agreement could come as soon as later tonight or tomorrow. The hope is that a government would be formed before the Passover holiday next week. In some other news now, the murderer of Jewish journalist Daniel Pearl may be released from prison in the coming days. A Pakistani court today overturned the murder conviction of the British-Pakistani man found guilty of the 2002 kidnapping and murder of the Wall Street Journal reporter. And unless the government there challenges the court's decision, he will go free. Pearl's father, Judea Pearl, called the court's ruling a mockery of justice. He tweeted, "Anyone with a minimal sense of right and wrong now expects Faiz Shah, the prosecutor general of Sindh, to do his duty and appeal this reprehensible decision to the Supreme Court of Pakistan." A synagogue in Rockville, Maryland was vandalized this past Shabbat. A man was seen on surveillance cameras at Tikvat Israel congregation spray painting the outside walls of the building in what turned out to be swastikas and messages of hate. MyMC Media reported that the congregation's Rabbi Mark Israel said it's horrifying the level of hate that exists. Neighbors later taped a painting on the synagogue door to show their support. It reads, "You are loved." A reward of up to $10,000 was offered for information that leads to an arrest of the suspect. And in Pennsylvania, a 31-year-old local man was charged with making online threats against Jews and other minorities. Federal charges against him include posting a threatening image targeting a Jewish congregation, as well as hundreds of anti-Semitic, anti-Black, and anti-Muslim messages, images, and videos. U.S. Attorney David J. Freed said Pennsylvanians know all too well how dangerous these kinds of white supremacist threats can be. He said the last thing we want is to see another tragedy like we saw at Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh, or at Al-Nur Mosque in Christchurch, or at Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church in Charleston. Freed said, "We don't know what might have happened, but we take these threats seriously, and I commend the FBI for their vigilance and quick action in this case." And we continue to report to you about the passing from COVID-19 of Jewish figures in the spotlight. Award-winning songwriter Adam Schlesinger died yesterday of complications from COVID-19 at the age of 52. Schlesinger was one of the lead songwriters of the band Fountains of Wayne. He was a Grammy Award winner and an Oscar nominee for the song That Thing You Do. Also a two-time Tony nominee for the musical Crybaby, and he won an Emmy Award last year for Outstanding Original Music on the TV show Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, alongside the show's creator and star Rachel Bloom. Bloom, by the way, just gave birth to her first child last week. She posted last night, "I have so much to say about Adam Schlesinger that I am at a complete loss for words. He is irreplaceable." New England's Patriots owner Robert Kraft is stepping up to help in the fight against the spread of coronavirus. Kraft, who was awarded the Genesis Prize in Israel last year, sent his team's private plane to China to pick up over 1 million N95 masks for medical personnel here in the U.S. Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker had arranged to purchase the masks but needed a way to get them here. Kraft stepped in, reportedly also paying for half the costs of the masks. The Patriots plane was expected back in Boston tonight, where most of the masks will be distributed directly to local hospitals, though at Kraft's request, National insider for NFL Network Ian Rappaport tweeted that Massachusetts will send 300,000 of those masks to New York. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, April the 2nd at 7 o'clock, it's Talmud Study. At 8, a discussion of how more racially and ethnically diverse Jewish institutions address white supremacy. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with JNF CEO Russell Robinson on L'chaim. At 10, a look at Israel's groundbreaking work with water. And coming up right after this newscast, a new episode of Mark Golub's Together During COVID-19. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, April the 2nd, 2020. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.